the business community is going to be very happy. Happy because they are going to actually witness a significant reduction in cost of doing business. Consumers are also going to be very, very happy. Why? Because they are going to actually reduce their spending as far as VAT is concerned. Students will also be very happy. Why? Because now they are going to have a very easy computing, VAT for examination purposes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is just by way of introduction. And I can tell you, as we go into the discussions, you realize that if there's anything that the Minister of Finance has done so well for us, among others, is this VAT reforms. And the VAT reforms is actually part of a broader measure to ensure that we are able to raise sufficient revenue. We are able to actually do away with distortions. We are able to ensure that cost of living is dramatically reduced. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Knapp, for your initial comment. Indeed, I have heard a number of experts also commenting that our system was not bringing in the relevant revenue from, indirect taxes. Let's go to the most controversial areas. Doc, we've heard of registration threshold. So I want you to tell us, what is this threshold and its implication for new taxpayers? This 750,000 does it apply to service providers, or it's only for, people who deal in goods? And again, what is the implication for the old people? I mean, old taxpayers who have registered under the old law. Does it mean that they are going to deregister? Can you put these three concerns together and give me the GRA's perspective?
All right. Thank you very much. If you look at the VAT Act, that is even the then and now, you cannot say you are into goods and services, and then you supply service alongside. The service alongside is the emphasized. What is emphasized is the goods aspect. If you are also supplying services and goods are also, incidental, then we are saying that you are into services, but you cannot be into both. You cannot have both. Having said that, the then was 200,000, but now it has been increased to 750,000. Now, it is important for us to indicate that the 750,000 threshold is only applicable to supply of goods. Supply of services, there's no threshold. Supply of services, there's no threshold. So if you provide services, please, threshold does not matter. Now, what does that mean really? What it means is that the Commissioner General is bound by law to appreciate the fact that when it comes to services, every person who provides services must be registered for VAT. But there are some implications here. It is not every person that can charge the VAT and be able to account for it. The important point for us to note is that the VAT is consumption expenditure tax. That is to say, it is the consumer who is actually paying the tax. If the consumer is paying the tax, you, the business, you are only acting as a conduit to make the tax available to the Commissioner General. Now, if you administer that tax and it is not translated or paid to the Commissioner General, then it means that there's something fundamentally wrong here. The consumer has been fooled, has been shortchanged, and Ghana as a country has also been shortchanged. So the Commissioner General will look at it as and when he thinks that, look, this category of service providers, I cannot register them, then he would have to come out clearly and say that these persons cannot be registered. Otherwise, all service providers are required to actually register for VAT. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is important is also for us to note that, yes, having increased the threshold from 200,000 to 750,000, it means that persons who actually have turnover up to 750,000 cannot charge VAT. That is persons who supply goods. That's what it means. Your turnover should exceed 750,000 for a year before you can charge VAT. And we can break it down into quarters into months and so on and so forth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what is important is that there are some arrangements, and the arrangements are this. All persons who are registered under the previous regime must continue to charge VAT at the standard rate. They must continue to charge VAT at the standard rate. So if you were a VAT flat rate person, you are required to charge VAT using the standard rate. If you are already a standard rate person, standard rated person, then you are supposed to continue to charge VAT at the standard rate. If you are into real estate, you are charging VAT at 5%. Per the transitional arrangement, you are supposed to charge VAT at the standard rate. Now, what it means is that persons who were charging VAT flat rate are required to return unutilized VAT flat rate booklets back to the Commissioner General. And Commissioner General is duty bound to evaluate persons who were charging VAT under the previous regime to actually migrate them. Until you are migrated and deregistered, as it were, persons who do not meet the condition, unless they are deregistered, they must charge VAT.
Doc, Bohobium, I think that there's a lot of meat there.
Okay.
I am already registered. The new law has come. You are saying that until I am deregistered, I should continue to charge. If I was on the flat rate, I should change from flat rate to a standard rate.
Exactly.
Okay, so please take that block, repeat that block for me.
This is it. Previously, we had 4 categories: 0 rated. Then we have the flat rate, which is 3%, and then 5%, and then as well as the standard. Now, what we are saying is that all these persons who are registered there, please continue to charge the VAT at the standard rate, because VAT flat rate under the current regime is gone. There's no VAT flat rate any longer. So we don't have the 3%, we don't have the 5% for estate developers. So it is now the standard rate, which is 15%, and I'm sure we'll go into that. Now, all that we are saying is that until you are deregistered, you have to continue to file. Commissioner General would have to assess persons' turnover. We do know that when it comes to the determination of turnover, sometimes a lot of things go into it. For some reasons, certain persons will not want to actually migrate. So it is the Commissioner that will determine whether your turnover is beyond 750 or not, based on your records and based on the information that he has. So that is the point I'm trying to make. Now, we are already working on the new VAT booklets, just to mirror what we are talking about. But in the meantime, what is going to happen is that if you have the standard already, all that you need to do is just to cancel the COVID, because it's no longer applicable. And also, the base on which the VAT is going to be charged is the same base on which the levies are going to be charged. So the levies and then the VAT will be charged on the same, base. Will be charged on the same, base.
Interesting.
Yes. So
interesting.
So that is that. I don't know whether I should go on or that is okay. So that maybe the next question.
Okay. So you spoke about the booklet and all those things. Our understanding is that we should return it. Those who have the flat rate, they should cancel it. I think you spoke about the canceling the COVID-19. What about those with a flat rate booklet? Because that one, there's a number of. Should they also cancel it?
No, that flat rate booklets have to be returned.
Okay, so as we speak today,
they have to be returned.
Okay, so as we speak today, a flat rate person should jump onto the standard rate, charge 20%, but then they have to return it and collect new booklets.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So they have to. What we are saying is that you cannot cancel the VAT flat rate and then incorporate this. It's going to create a lot of complexity. So all that we are saying is that those ones should be returned. then pick the standard ones. But the standard ones that still have the COVID, we are no longer charging COVID. So please, nobody should charge COVID. Cancel that one out and leave the levies and then the VAT. Now, the previous regime was such that the levies would have to be charged first. Then you get the addition before you now add the VAT. Please, we are saying that they are now on the same base. So let's say the cost of the item is 100, and you are going to impose the levies and then the VAT. So the levies put together, that is 2.5, 2.5, get fund and then end here. That would make it 5%. 5% on the 100. Then 50% also on the 100. So that's all that we are saying. There's no longer adding the levies as we used to experience before adding the VAT. But when it comes to CST, that one, you are required to add the CST, get the base, which is what we call a taxable base, before you now add the levies plus the VAT.
Great.
But let's emphasize that. I mean, anytime there's a transition of this nature, there are bound to be some few challenges here and there. But we are, around to help you be able to sort it out.
Great. Thank you, Doc, for raising those issues. I have a question here. Someone said that contracts that have been concluded but not invoiced, should they now invoice under the new regime?
Yeah, so I want to state that once contracts are entered into and then you are raising the invoice, we are asking, at what point are you raising the invoice? If you are raising the invoice from today, then of course they would have to take effect from today. Internally, GRA, there will be some communication from the Commissioner General to all staff to actually appreciate that, so that when they go to the field, they don't create a lot of problems. As much as possible, that communication will be done and done effectively among GRA. So this is something that will be addressed in-house. But I can assure you, because if it is system-based, there's no way your system that has been configured to reflect current situation and current law will have, would have to be backdated. Obviously, it's a question of no.
Okay. Doc, let's just talk about the registration for service providers. Clearly, the law says if you're a service provider, there's no threshold for you. Does it mean that tomorrow, if I don't register and the GRA officers come to me and say, oh, you ought to have registered, you didn't, and therefore I have defaulted, then they go and start calculating the taxes for me. If we do that, are we treating the taxpayer fairly? Secondly, are we not opening the Pandora box for even shoeshine, shop owners to come walk to the GRA officers and say, look, I qualify to be registered? What do you say to that?
Thank you very much. I don't think that is just a tongue in a chick situation. The point is that if the shoe shine person can account for the VAT, why not? Because the law says so. What I said was that Commissioner General would have to look at the nuances and look at the implications and look at whether there will be proper, accounting. That is what it is before he implements this. But remember, as the law came into effect from 1st January, it means that if you are not registered as a service provider, you have within 30 days to register. So the 30 days window is still opened. We haven't closed it. That is by 30th of January. Then you have to make every attempt to actually register for VAT. Otherwise, Commissioner General would have to look for you and make sure you are registered. But as I said, there are certain persons, and you just mentioned shoe shine. I mean, if I have a shoe shine shop, well placed, in a nice container, I get it, and I can account for it. Why not? Commissioner General says that you must actually take the necessary steps to register. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, there is what we call the voluntary registration. That window or that dispensation hasn't been taken away. It's still there. But you just have to demonstrate that you keep proper records, keep proper books, and then you have a very fixed area business that we can actually, fetch you. When Commissioner General is convinced that, yes, you can actually account for the VAT, you are at liberty to apply for it. So we haven't taken away that opportunity. It's still there for persons who want to support the system by way of, charging and accounting for the VAT. That is also, there. That route is there.
Great. Thanks for the clarification. I think you've addressed most of my questions regarding the transition period. But let me ask, in August 2018, when we separated the levies from the VAT, we are aware that customs at the port, which is part of GRA, it took them about 4 months before the systems were able to, be adjusted for them to be charging the levies. Today, we know COVID is gone. Does it mean that if I bring my goods at the port, I'm going to be made to pay COVID-19, potentially because those systems have not been changed? And added to that, let me move from the port. Today, one of the participants sent me a screenshot that he went to a shop and bought some items yesterday and today, and they are still charging the old taxes. How do we deal with such issues because of potential inability to change the systems to immediately start charging the new taxes? If they collect the old taxes, should they account for it, or they should refund it to the taxpayers?
Okay, so every organization is evolving, and GRA is also in the ecosystem and also evolving, and evolving very fast. We have actually incurred a huge investment as far as our infrastructure is concerned. And Timo, you would agree with me that when you go to any GRA office, there's so much, change between then and now. So if you import anything into the country today, I can assure you that the COVID 1% will not, apply. And number two, the cascading effect where the levies were imposed before the VAT will also no longer, be the case. We have actually put in place a system to ensure that we don't have a problem. Having said that, persons who have suffered the COVID and probably the cascading, I just want to apologize on behalf of Ghana Revenue Authority that was something that was not intended. But once they have the receipts, and then they can prove that they should apply to Commissioner General, and the Commissioner General will refund. But once you have the original invoice, when you apply, that refund will be given to you.
Great. Now, back to the VAT booklet. We are aware that following the amendments and the EVAT system, the VAT booklet is even supposed to get out of the system. Are we still going to see the VAT booklet operational until the EVAT has fully taken off? How do you respond to the fiscal electronic device coming on board? Are we ready yet, or that will be rolled out later?
All right, thank you very much. All these issues have actually been taken on board. When it comes to the EVAT, it is actually for persons who are in existence and have their systems in place. Then we will now embed our API, onto their system for them to be able to actually work on it. But those who do not have any system, in place, obviously the fiscal electronic device is what will be used to actually carry out that. But again, we also have a segment that we think that they should be able to actually use the booklets until they are phased out. We are not just going to say that because this new system has started, new act has started, we should just phase out the booklet. We can't do that. If we do that, then it means that we are really going to have a lot of persons who will not be able to, work because they don't have a system in place to charge the VAT. Meanwhile, they have made a threshold. So that is what it is. So yes, we'll get there eventually. Eventually, we are going to actually go digital in everything that we do. And when we do that, we would actually phase out the booklet system.
Great, Doc. That's fantastic. Doc, I have some questions. And members, please, I know you've made time to join. We have about 2,000 members online now. Kindly make use of the questions and answers, and I'll read it out when we exhaust them. I've seen some members also having their hands up. I'll also unmute you so that you talk. But Doc, let me read some of the questions that has come from Isaac Newton. He said his first question is, those who were previously under the VAT relief, VAT flat rate are now, my first question is, those who were previously in the VAT flat rate and now that it has been abolished, what will happen to them? Isaac, I think Dr. Knapp has responded to that. He said that you have to start charging until you submitted all your records to GRA for them to deregister you. Then his second question is, if their annual income isn't up to 750,000, what will be their fate? Doc, do you want to? I don't know whether you've already answered that one.
Yeah, but let me just emphasize both. VAT flat rate persons. So with the advent of this new act, all that we are saying is that you can no longer charge the VAT flat rate. And number two, Community General has also not deregistered you. So in our system, you are still a VAT registered person. Now, all that we are saying is that keep charging VAT, but at the standard rate until such a time that Community General will give you a letter, they registering you or asking you to automatically continue. Then 750,000, that is a threshold. If you don't meet the threshold, certainly you can't charge VAT. Is that okay? So all persons who are not charging VAT, whose turnover does not exceed 750,000 over a 12-month period, obviously cannot charge VAT. But I just also want to say that the essence of VAT the world over is to encourage proper bookkeeping. I have always said that if you run a business and you don't keep proper books, you may not even know whether you are making a profit or you are not making a profit. And when you keep proper books, even negative externalities that may come your way, which has to be costed, you would account for all those things. At the end of the day, you realize that the taxes that you are paying based on some presumptions may even be lower under where you keep proper records. So proper records is not only for tax purposes, it is just even for yourself to know how your business is actually doing. So I believe that, please, let's see tax as our civic responsibility as enshrined in our constitution, and also see it as an opportunity to support the growth of this country. Everybody wants to see this country grow. Is that okay? Even to the extent that when you are not employed, we are able to even pay for unemployment, pay unemployment allowances to persons who are
Nice one.
not working. Are you getting it? So we need to actually support. And I want to just call or make an appeal that let's all work hand in concert, work hand in gloves. Let's work in tandem to ensure that this act really becomes successful. And when it becomes successful, I can assure you that we are all going to benefit as a country.
Thank you, Doc. We can't wait for the unemployment benefits. Thanks so much. Since this session is for taxpayers, I'll try as much as possible to read their questions. So this is from Salom Jai. He says that what happens to the old unused VAT invoice? Salom, Dr. Knapp says that it has to be returned so that the new one will be issued. But in the meantime, you cancel, if you're on the standard rate, just cancel the COVID-19 out and then know how it is calculated. Number two, he says that those who fall below the new VAT thresholds, are they automatically deemed to be deregistered? No, he said that you have to continue to charge until you have submitted to the GRA, then they will deregister you from the portal. Three, he says that is there going to be a return for levies to be submitted differently on the VAT returns? Doc, do you want to answer this one? I don't think you've answered this one.
Yes. So when it comes to filing of returns, nothing will change. So we had the VAT and then we have the levies. Now what has changed is that the COVID is no longer applicable. So you have to submit 2 returns. That is for VAT and for levies. Remember, they are for different purposes. And again, in some cases where Parliament, in its wisdom, may exempt VAT and you are supposed to charge COVID, or may exempt COVID, the levies, or exempt the VAT or the COVID, whichever way. So you need to actually submit 2 tax returns so that we are able to monitor what is happening.
Someone is following up and saying that since they are all claimable now, why can't we file one return so that at least our burden is eliminated? I know, yes, you want to track revenue, but since we know 5% is for the two levies, then 15% should be for the VAT. Then we can have one single VAT invoice, as we used to have it before August 2018.
No,
Is
you
it
see,
something that can be considered?
well, I think we'll look at it. But the point is that if you file them separately, I can extrapolate and tell whether the VAT is correct or not correct. But if you put all of them together, then I need to now sit down and, segregate them before, it creates a lot of problems. Remember, it is your money. The VAT is your money. GRA is only collected. We are only taxed to collect. It is not our money. It is your money. So make sure that you protect your money so your money can actually develop the country for you.
Great. Great. And the last question from Salom is saying that per the guidelines, all VAT registered taxpayers remain registered until registered by the Commissioner General. So are they to keep on charging the VAT at 15% until they deregister or stop charging? So I think this has been answered. Continue charging using the new rate until you have been deregistered. Let me go to Good Luck Jonathan from Takrad. He said, I'm already a registered VAT payer. My turnover does not fall within the new VAT threshold, 750,000. What should I do in terms of VAT filing and payment? I think Dr. Nab says that you continue to charge until you have been deregistered. So now, per the new threshold, you don't qualify, but you have to be deactivated from the portal. Other than that, you pay some penalties. Emmanuel Darkon says, is the threshold applicable to both goods and services or only goods as seen in the public notice? Emmanuel, I think Dr. Nab has explained this one. It applies to only goods and services. Does not. And then we go to PBA. He said that, however, he said the VAT is effective from 1st January 2026. However, it has been observed that as of January, a number of suppliers are still charging. I think Dr. Napa has also explained this one, that you should, Doc, you mentioned that they are entitled to a refund, right?
Yes, yeah, they can apply for it.
Okay. All right, so let me go to Esrifi. Your question is very long. It's saying that I wish to commend the GRA for the introduction of the EVA system, which is a significant step towards it. However, I would like to seek clarification and share observation regarding certain aspects of the implementation. He goes on to say, taxpayer education, I think that his own is more of commendation. Emmanuel says, can you go and update your VAT category at your tax office if your sales is below 750,000? Doesn't mean you will not pay VAT. Emmanuel, you need to contact your VAT office and then they will deregister you. There's also Ajimine or being saying that, well, the new VAT of 20% apply. How is the calculation done? Doc, do you want to walk them through how the calculation is done again? Because I think it keeps coming up. They want to see this 20%. How is it done?
Okay, so you at the tail end, I will just show an Excel sheet and then we'll do the calculation together.
Great. We have Patricia Omar says that, please, will the demolition of the VAT flat rate have effect on the rent VAT, that is immovable property, real estate? The Rent Act on the above is 5% flat rate plus 1% COVID-19. However, we're still going to be on the flat rate. Are we going to still be on the flat rate? She's asking. I think Doc has answered that. Doc, maybe you would like to re-emphasize this one. It seems maybe I didn't even get that one clearly.
Okay. Yeah, so let me just say that GRA is only the institution that has a mandate to administer taxes. So what the law has been passed by Parliament, and all of us belong to constituencies. And what it says is that we are moving away from VAT, the flat rates, to standard. So that is where we are as a country. So the 5% that was earlier charged by real estate developers will no longer be applicable, but they will charge at 15%. But you see, the good news is that, and I want everybody to appreciate this, under the previous regime, you could only claim the VAT. The levies, you couldn't claim them at all. So 6% you couldn't claim. And it really created a lot of difficulties for businesses. Now with the new regime, what it says is that you will claim the VAT, you can also claim the levies, unless you don't want to claim. So claiming that would mean that if I have, let's say, 10 Ghana cedis as input, then I have output, 12 Ghana. I'm deducting the 10 from the 12, and it is 2 I'm going to pay to GRA. That for me is good news. But there's no tax system that will not require some sacrifices, from the citizenry. That should be appreciated. And if we want to build a very buoyant, country, a very prosperous country, it is required that every person should do some little sacrifice. These advanced countries that we talk about, it is previous sacrifice that they did that is actually creating a kind of economic prosperity that they are witnessing. And I believe strongly that as a resilient country, obviously we'll get there. So yes, there may be some difficulties, but trust me, there is light at the end of the tunnel.
There's light, indeed. Doc, Salisu is asking that with the VAT, the EVAT implementation, there is some cost implication. So he's asking whether there should be some sort of tax relief for those who implement the EVAT system, maybe through the acquisition of some infrastructure, some software, or maybe some hardware to support the EVAT system.
So already they are claiming it as capital allowance or as expense, depending on how long that system would last. So obviously, government has created some kind of opportunity for you to actually use it to reduce your profit. So that has been taken by law.
Okay, so we don't need any special one like the
at all.
Okay, all right. Doc, another important question from Daniel Ansa. He's asking whether in the past we saw some notice that GRA will not allow deduction for expense transactions that do not have VAT invoices. Are we still on that public, that notice that if you don't have VAT invoice, you can't deduct? And the amount was, I think, 2,000 cedis. Now with the new law, have we changed the position now?
No, we haven't changed anything. We have, in fact, it's a compliance tool or measure. Now let's look at it this way. The Commissioner General has a mandate to administer taxes, all taxes in Ghana. Now he says that I have persons who have registered for VAT and they are required to register for VAT. If you buy from them and there is VAT to be paid, but you don't have the VAT invoice, let me know where you bought it from and why you don't have the VAT invoice. If you are able to explain and we are able to cross-check that indeed that person is not registrable and hasn't registered for VAT, we don't have a problem with you. You will take it as a allowable deduction. But where the person is supposed to actually charge VAT, he hasn't charged, and you haven't also asked for the VAT, then that cost cannot be allowed. It is just for us to help police the system to make sure that everybody does things right here.
But Doc, now that we are talking about 750,000. It means that we're going to have a number of people unregistered for VAT, and the person you are auditing, will have to now come and be explaining myself that this Kofi Mensah enterprise is not registered for VAT.
No, you see, the point is that persons who do business are supposed to be in our data system. So if they are in our data system, we are able to tell whether they have registered for VAT or they are not registered for VAT. You don't need to explain. I get it. Unless the person from whom you have bought the item is not registered for VAT, that is where you have to do some explanation. Otherwise, we'll go into our system and check. If the person is registered for VAT, but you don't have the VAT invoice, then that is where you just have to tell us how it happened. So it is just to ensure that, ladies and gentlemen, that as a country, we are able to keep proper records. And as a country, we are able to protect the little taxes that we are able to collect.
Okay. I think that topic is a bit controversial, but let's go. Justice says that, how do we treat old invoices received in 2025 but not yet paid, are they going to recompute? Or they should just account for it
No,
under the
once,
old system?
yes, once the VAT has been issued, is that okay? And we also do know that when it comes to VAT, that is paid in a particular month, let's say January, you account for it on or before the last working day of February. So at least maximum of 60 days window. So if it has already been issued, that is the contract. And that is what you have to pay.
Olusegun says that he would like to see some practical calculation. Olusegun will get there. Then in terms of filing dates and everything remains the same, Olusegun. So he wants to see. Derek, I think Dr. Nab has explained the real estate bit. And yeah.
We just talk about the tourism.
Mhm.
The tourism levy.
Please go ahead.
Yes. So the tourism levy, under the previous law, was supposed to be added, and then the VAT calculated, on it. But as we speak now, in fact, if you look at the law now, it is no longer the case. So the tourism levy will not impact on the VAT. Is that okay? So that issue, that controversial issue, or the issue that the tourism sector had problems with, has been cured in the law. So we have put it in the law deliberately, so that at least it doesn't create that cascading effect. So that has been done, and that has been taken care of.
Great. But we didn't do that for CST.
You are big players. Timo, you are big players. You are big players. Help us develop this country fast.
Right. Let me proceed. I think I'm almost exhausting the questions that I have. Then I'll come to the dashboard, the questions and answers. I think Donanu wants to see how the calculation is done. Yes, Dr. Nab will take us through. Dr. Nab, another question here. How has the VAT withholding changed, or is it still going to remain the same, and the withholding is going to be on the 15%, but not the 20%?
Thank you very much. The VAT withholding hasn't changed. What we have done, however, is that persons who actually demonstrate good cause, that comedian is happy and satisfied about their record keeping and whatnot, may apply for withholding tax exemption, withholding VAT exemption, just as we have in the income tax. We have also put that one in the law. So there's exemption that you can enjoy, provided you do things right. Otherwise, there hasn't been any change in the withholding VAT.
Okay, great. Great. So I think that we have exhausted the list I have here. So Dr. Knapp, we have 2,300 people. They want to ask you a question. I hope that you'll get the strength to answer. So please, I'll go to the dashboard and then you raise your hand. I will unmute you so that you talk. But please be mindful of the time, because everybody will want to ask some questions. So please keep it short so that we can allow others to ask their questions. So first of all, I'll go to Isaac. Isaac, you can talk. Isaac, formally, Kwashi. Isaac, formally, Kwashi, your hand is up. Okay, otherwise, let me go to Samuel Lincoln. Samuel Lincoln, you can talk now. Samuel Lincoln. Okay. I think they are not ready. Even though I've seen. Okay, Samuel Lincoln. Frederick Ahin, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so quickly on the CST, my understanding is that the cascading effect has not been taken off for the CST. So I just want a confirmation. If I provide a telecom service, the value, the CST, before I put the other taxes on it, that is one. And two, I would like to draw Doc's attention to an experience I had with GRA on the EVAT invoices. I'm using the one on the portal. I realized that per the law, CST is to be charged on all communication services, whether export, exempt, free zones, no, export or free zones. But on the portal, anytime you input a transaction or a sale for exports and for free zones, the CST does not calculate on it. I have drawn the attention of the unit. They said the project manager will come back to it. So please, if he can't pass a word, they should speed it for us so that our e-invoicing will be okay. My first point, however, is I want a confirmation. CST remains the same. We have the cascading effect. Thank you.
Doc, I'm an interested party in the CST thing. So please, what do you say?
Yeah, so I think the IT guys are on the call as well. So I've taken note of it. I really thought that we had fixed all the things that would create problems. But if there are still some problems, trust me, we'll get it corrected. This CST Magana, the truth of the matter is that, I mean, yes, let's see how it goes. But for now, that is the law. There's nothing we can do about it.
The law is the law.
The law is the law.
Right. Kadufia Godwin, you have your hand up. Please talk. Kadufia. Go ahead. Okay, Kadufia, I'm not hearing you. So let me go to Anita. Anita Deku.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Okay. So my question has to do with the EVAT. We are on the free invoicing EVAT portal. Now, we got an update on the support WhatsApp group that we will be able to raise our backdated invoices. We have up to the end of January to do that, which will allow us to the old rate. This morning we tried it, but it didn't work. We selected the December as the invoice date, but it still gave us the new rate. So I wanted to know what is being done about it.
Okay. Thank you, Kadufia.
Yeah, I think I addressed this issue. What I said was that the GRA team that may be doing the monitoring would be interested in the fact that once the transaction relates to previous period, they should have a previous period's rates. But the truth of the matter is that when it comes to system, it becomes very difficult for you to be able to get it so malleable. So I think that it is not out of place to quote current rate as it is, but there will be internal communication so that when the GRA staff come to your office or come to your business premises, they wouldn't actually worry you. Yeah, the reason is if we don't do that, memories can fade, where after some time we don't even remember that was a situation. And you may not also remember to say that, oh, this was a system that challenge that we had. Then you are going to have a banter. So there will be an internal communication so that GRA staff will be well informed and well aware. So when they go out, they know what to do. So it doesn't create any problem for any taxpayer. We cherish our taxpayers and want them to be happy.
Thank you. So let me go to Godwin there. After Godwin there, then I come to Ali Inusa. Godwin.
Thank you. Good morning. My first question is, under the old system, the flat rate, such businesses are not eligible to claim the input VAT. Now, once they switch over to the standard rate, I believe that the requirement for claiming the input VAT under the standard rate still holds.
Yes, boss. Yes, you are right.
Right. Then the second question is, how long will it take for a business that does not meet that is not currently maybe is not meeting the threshold of the 750,000? Now your word is that we should continue charging until we are delisted if we don't meet the threshold. How long would a delisting take? Should we continue reminding GRA that we are not meeting the threshold, and so we have to be delisted, or automatically the delisting will be done?
I didn't know that Godwin, you are eyeing the Commissioner General's job. That is his work. He will do it for you. No, it will be done quick for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Ali Inusa. Ali,
Good morning.
good morning. From Ali, I'll come to
Question is-
Daniel Ajumagbe. So Ali, go ahead.
All right, thank you. So my question is, if Doc can clarify for me again the policy rationale behind the non-applicability of the 750K threshold on the provision of services. Thank you.
Okay, Doc, you want to know why the
Uh,
services were not included?
no, take it again. You should take his question again.
Ali,
Right.
can you ask again?
So please, I would like you to clarify for me the policy rationale behind the non-applicability of the 750,000 threshold on the provision of services.
Oh, okay. I think we love persons who provide services, so we want to see their records every time. On a more serious note, we are just looking at good practices the world over, and we think that when it comes to services, in terms of cost of compliance, it's not so huge, and two, it's also very convenient, for them to be able to actually charge and then account for the VAT. So that is just what it is.
Great. Doc, let me go to the dashboard, the questions side. It said, can you deduct levies incurred before the VAT amendments? He's asking whether levies incurred before the new VAT law can be deducted.
No, you can't deduct them before the. No, you can't. If you are not, if you, what's the name? You couldn't deduct them under the previous lesson. Why would you deduct them? So those ones you just have to add them.
Okay. There's another person. I want to know if my
Yes,
company
I
was.
was supposed to ask my question.
But see, the point. Let's also understand something. Commissioner General administers taxes in general. VAT is a tax handle. Income tax, or let's say corporate tax or personal income tax, are also tax handles. So if you are not able to take it from VAT, you are taking it from income tax. So let's take note of that. So it doesn't appear as if you are denied or Commissioner General is essentially wicked. No.
Okay. Did you
Please, can I
want
go
to?
on my question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Commissioner, good morning. In
Good
his
morning, my boss.
presentation,
My senior.
your presentation, you had indicated that the levies and the VAT returns will be filed separately. But this is the case, the levy becomes input claimable. The current system as it is, you file the levies and the liability goes to the levies portal for payment. So how are you going to file the new system, file them separately, and the liability will not be in the levies for payment? That is one. And my second question also go to the issue on the claimable expenditure of 2,000 on VAT. You had indicated that I have to explain why the person gave me an invoice which is not VAT. How would I know whether the person is registered as a VAT trader or not? I think that particular area is an issue you should look at. From my thinking, I think that if I have an invoice which is not VAT trader, and then you have the person is VAT registered, it's an information your team will get it from me to chase that person, indicating that the person is already evading VAT or taxes. I shouldn't suffer for that. These are my two questions or additions, whichever. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So, as I said, the GRA has tax information on every taxpayer, unless those are operating under submarine or that are operating underground that don't have records on. So we are able to go into our system to tell whether the person is registered for VAT or not. If the person is registered for VAT, but you don't have a VAT invoice, then that becomes an issue, my senior. That is where we are.
What I'm saying that the person is registered, but I don't know the person is registered. I go to buy the item and the person invoice it for me. This is my question. The person has invoiced it for me. I have no idea whether the person is registered or not. Why should I suffer for that?
Oh, so I thought that we are all supposed to help the system. So first of all, we should be interested in finding out whether the person is registered for VAT. Why are you not giving me VAT invoice? Let me just tell you something. I was in Kumasi for a program, and I had to, unfortunately, there was no flight, so I had to sleep. I slept in the hotel. The following day, when I got up, the guy gave me, he didn't give me a receipt. He just took my money and said, bye-bye, safe journey. I said, no, I want my receipt, VAT invoice. Oh, you're too known. Are you working with GRA? And he started talking. I said, please, whether I work with GRA or not, I want my VAT invoice. Interestingly, no, he didn't have. So I had to call our office over there immediately that they should just come and then ensure that the right thing is done. So these are some of the things. We should be interested in helping the system. The point is that if we just say that, oh, this is GRA should do its work, I think that would be too much.
I think his concern is that with the new threshold, if we are using 2,000, then what that means is that the threshold should have been 24,000. Assuming I'm even getting 2,000 cedis a month from the person, 12 months would give me 24,000. But I think it's something that we can discuss further, especially on the 16th when we're having another public lecture.
Okay.
Doc, let me go to
let me just comment on it. If it's just the amount that is too small, our community can look at it. Is that okay? And he was also talking about the filing. We would look at it. We'll get back. We'll look at it again.
Correct.
I mean, they have to file together because I'm just getting concerns all over. We don't want to actually frustrate our taxpayers. We want them to help do the right thing. So I think we'll look at it. It's not something that cannot be done.
I like that. We don't want frustration. The tax payment is a burden on its own. Thanks for that. Doc, there's a question from Gosway. He's asking whether you're going to do a mass registration based on the new structure. Is it something that can be looked at?
Mass registration and mass deregistration. So look at it from both angles. Yeah, so
yes. mass registration and mass deregistration.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
But why is he saying mass? We'll do the registration as and when, per the law. And we'll also do registration as per the law. So all that we are saying is that if you are registrable, you have within 30 days. This is a new law. You have within 30 days to register with GRA. So we are appealing. Please go back, look at your records again, and make sure that everything is done properly. And it will tell you your position. And take a step forward and get registered. And you'll be happy with it.
Great. Thank you, Doc. Let me go back again. This time, let me go to Alexander Bini. Alex, please, you can ask your question. From Alex, then I come to Emmanuel Enim. Yes, Alex, can you hear? Ask your question. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I think the discussion has answered the question, so I forgot to lower my hand. Apologies.
Thank you. Let me go to Emmanuel Enim. Emmanuel.
Okay, please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you, Emmanuel. We can hear you.
Okay, so I want to, good morning and thank you, Doc, for the explanation. My question, I have two questions. The first question is the calculation for the inclusive values or figures for the VAT calculation per the new regime. And also those that, so for instance, as we spoke about mass deregistration, so are we going to, so what will happen to those who had penalties on their VAT system that they couldn't file all their VAT returns? What will happen to those businesses or persons? Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me just say that per the law, if you are a VAT registered person, you must display that you are a VAT registered person. The certificate should be conspicuous for every person to know that you are a VAT registered person. If you are not also a VAT registered person, then let them also know that you are not. But the utmost test is that, the litmus test is that once it is not displayed, it means that you are not. And goods must also be VAT inclusive. If they are not VAT inclusive, then let them know, let the public know that it is not VAT inclusive. Is that okay? That is what the law is talking about. Mass deregistration, I didn't say that. I didn't say mass deregistration because it was somebody, a participant, who mentioned mass deregistration. I didn't say that. All that we'll do is that we evaluate the businesses, and then those who do not meet the threshold, consequently get them, out. I get it. And those who also meet the threshold, but they are not actually making conscious effort, we'll make sure that they are also registered, properly. When it comes to penalties and whatnot, which are standing on their books, if there are penalties, there are taxes, and they have to be paid. Unless maybe I'm not too clear about your question. But if there are tax penalties, it is not a waiver. The VAT Act is not a waiver of penalties. It's just to streamline the VAT, processes. Just an improvement upon what we had previously, but it's not a waiver. So if there are penalties, I would encourage you to make sure that you liquidate them quickly.
Sure. Doc, permit me, in the interest of time, permit me to take about 4 questions at a time. So I'm going to call Godfrey. Do ask your question, followed by Francis, by JM. Then from Francis, then we come to Ebenezer Setrofia. So Godfrey, let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning. Please, first of all, I want to say that the new tax reform is very commendable, but I have a problem with the deregistration. For example, if the SME does not still meet the 750,000 K and still wants to charge and be fully compliant, why do you register? Because Ghana needs money. A little drop of water makes a mighty ocean. And secondly, we don't now going to migrate to the standard. Now, migrate to the standard. Are we going to charge 20% or we are just going to charge 15% VAT?
Okay. Godfrey, thank you. Doc will answer your question. Let me go to Francis. Please ask your question.
Good morning.
Morning.
Doc, please, I just want to find out whether the 7% withholding VAT, the new Act 1151 have taken into consideration whether it's still treating it as input tax and not a credit, whether it aligns with the 6-month period for deduction of input tax. That has been a challenge in the field when we go to audit taxpayers.
Okay. Doc, it looks like Francis is one of you. Let me go to Naki. After Naki, then Doctor will answer. Naki, Nataki.
Hi. Yes, thank you for taking the question. I really appreciate you having this webinar. It's been very insightful. My question was specifically related to accountants and how your agency may be handling accountants. That's something that I hear a lot, that people struggle to find accountants who deal with small businesses. And is there, for lack of a better word, separate from just the list of chartered accountants, is there a list of accountants who are known to follow these standards, follow the tax standards, that people can connect with to make sure that they're staying compliant? And just a little add-on to that, in talking with a lot of accountants, what you hear is people they kind of only want to do taxes. But in terms of good business practice, as you talked about, what's helpful is if you're having constant communication, monthly or quarterly, about the things that the business are doing, so you're not blindsided by taxes and other things. So just wanting to make sure there's a pathway to that, or any recommendations. And the second part was just, how do or if there are any recommendations about software or technology that people can use that help keep these records electronically so that it's easier. Thank you.
Great. So, Doc, it looks like the questions are 2 in 1. So I'll let you respond to these ones and then we can take the next batch.
Yeah, so Godfrey was talking about the 750, those who do not meet the threshold. We should continue to allow them to charge. But as I said earlier, the route for the voluntary registration is there. So if they want to use that opportunity, we'll reassess them. Once they meet the criteria, then obviously they would be put on. Otherwise, if you don't meet the threshold, and Community General keeps you there, then he himself is also flouting his own law. So I don't think that is what we want to do. We want to comply, just as we want taxpayers to comply. We also want to comply with the tax laws. So if you want to come under the voluntary route, please, you can choose to do that. Yeah, the 7%, yes. So the 7%, once an authorized agent withholds, then it is deemed to have been a payment made by the withholding. So the withholding would have a tax credit. It's okay in that respect. Yeah, Naki's it was talking of constant communication.
Just a clarification. I think that his question was that when they go to the field, 7% VAT withholding, you claim it as an input VAT. There's that confusion that because it is issued by the customer, sometimes it delays more than 6 months. So the 6 months rule that applies to input VAT credit, should it apply to VAT withholding also? And granted that doctor has withheld from me and he's now bringing the VAT withholding certificate to me. Should I apply the 6 month retention period? If you don't claim the input VAT 6 months, you can't claim it anymore. Should that also apply? Okay. That's his question, that when they go to the field, and I believe that he's a JR officer, when they go to the field, this is a tax that has been paid. So he's asking how do we deal with it under the new regime?
So we are saying that it will be taken as tax credit.
So no limitation, right?
Yes, it's taken as tax credit. That is what it is.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I think that settles it then. But maybe we will be glad if you put it into some practice so that I can guide the officers on the field.
Okay. No, it's there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
maybe
as tax start paid.
Okay. So maybe take Nakita's.
Is there?
Correct. So maybe take Nakita's last question, then we can go to the next batch.
So she was talking of. I'm not too sure. I really got those 2 questions you are talking about. I overheard her talk about the fact that there should be constant communication between GRA and the tax community. I'm not too sure I heard the rest.
I also heard part that says that it's difficult finding the people who are accountants and can help small businesses and to enable them comply. So colleagues, accountants online, this is a customer who is saying that they don't have access to small business type of accountants. But Doc, I don't know what you want to say concerning the constant engagement.
Oh no, that's all. So GR, if you listen to the Minister of Finance, he said that it will be what we call sustained tax education. So that alone tells you that indeed we are going to have constant engagement. And the Commissioner General, if you look at last year, for example, he granted a lot of TV interviews, radio interviews, and the rest of us are also doing same. And we have a lineup of activities just to ensure that we are able to get our message, through. And we are also hoping that you also be our ambassadors to discuss any tax matter with other persons. It's okay. It is our responsibility. It's just that we are in GRA, but you are also, if you like, a GRA person, not necessarily taking salary from GRA, but you are a tax person, so help us.
Great. So let me read some few questions.
No, but if Madam Naki can come again, I think on the 2 questions you said. You mentioned it says 2 questions, but I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Or if she can engage me offline
Yeah,
to that.
Naki. So let's liaise, and then you can get to Dr. Now. This is from Jones. He's asking whether the portal will be updated to reflect the new taxes after December. Doc, it will be updated, right? So come
Exactly.
February, we are going to
Exactly.
file. Okay.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
And our IT guys are on the call, so they are listening. And I'm
All
sure
right.
they are supposed to be done.
Then Gerard, we are face asking for further clarification. Did you say you can apply for VAT withholding exemption?
Yes, it's in the law.
Great.
But it's not automatic. You just need to convince Commissioner General that you are doing things right. And
You need to convince.
Yes, per your records. And I'm sure you look at it and then.
Okay. This one is saying, is there a time frame for exiting the flat rate suppliers who do not meet the threshold? I think Doc has answered that one. Yes, if you think you don't meet it, continue to charge until you have gone to the office and then you have been deregistered. Other than that, the portal will continue to see you as a taxable registered person. And he's asking, this one is also asking, please, for a new company who wants to do business with government but will not meet the 750,000, what happens? Doc, he's a new business. He wants to do. I don't know whether he's trying to say government is demanding VAT invoices or something.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that would be something government will be interested in if you don't have there is a law. If my turnover is not beyond 750,000, I can't charge VAT. I'm not sure there's any law that says that I cannot, get government contract. Be that as it may, we have the voluntary aspect of it, so that you can apply and then be put on. So that route is also there.
Clinton is saying VAT input must be claimed within 6 months. He wants to know whether the levies must also be the same. Now that everything is claimable. Doc, I want to believe it's yes, right? The 6 months.
That's taxation is governed by law. The law only mentions VAT.
Yeah.
But so I wouldn't want to be very categorical, but I believe that it will be the same. However, let me just get authorization from my principals.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's not an event. We are going to have a series of conversation around this subject matter until everybody gets to understand it. So when we come again, we will clarify some of these issues.
Okay, Nido, I think this has been answered. He's asking why service providers are not part of the 750,000 threshold. I think that has been answered. I must say that there are a lot of questions on the page. Such that, Doc, I doubt if we can read all. But let me go to the 70 plus members who have raised their hand. So let me go to Ebenezer Sechofia. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please, my question is, if we have an invoice from last year, that is from December, and we haven't claimed the input, but how are we going to do it with this new regime? Thank you.
Okay. Doc, do you want to answer that one? Then I'll go to George.
No, you claim it. Once you are supposed to claim, you haven't a claim, you have within 6 months, as the law says. So why will you not claim it?
But certainly it will not cover the levies aspect
No,
because
at all. The levies will not be part.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Let's go to George Atta.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Please just two short questions. The first one has to do with the submission of the old VAT booklet to GRA. So my question here has to do with the fact that between the time that we will be doing the submission, that time frame, how then do we manage our ongoing transaction? Is it the case that the very moment or the very day we submit the letter or the old booklet, we are getting a new booklet, or it's going to take some time? And it's going to take some time, how long? And how are we going to manage our ongoing transaction with our client? That's my first question. The second one, it's a bit confusing. I wish I can get in touch with Doc later so that he can advise on the way forward. It's about we are actually in under agricultural space, agribusiness space, And I think the nature of transaction is such that we are both into trading and also processing. But with the trading, because it's an agricultural produce, we don't charge VAT. But the processing bit, because we are adding value, it appears we are entitled to register for VAT. However, because it's a farm produce, there's nothing like input VAT to be claimed. So it's a bit controversial here, but I think I will appreciate an advice from Doc on this. Thank you.
Okay, so let's pick the last one first. If there's no input VAT to claim and there's output VAT, you pay to GRA the output, isn't it? Boss, your matter is very simple. Yours, there's no stress at all. I don't have any input to struggle with. I have only output. It may be so. Uncle George.
Right.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah. Thank you. Then the second one has to do with the old VAT books and whether to return them. As I said, if they are the flat rate ones, return them. And you'll be issued with the new ones immediately. If they are the old ones, which is a standard, just as I said, take off the COVID and then go ahead to use it until they are. We don't want to actually, as it were, create a lot of cost for government. They have been printed. So what do? We just have to enforce them. Is that okay?
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Look, let me go to Paul Amwakon, and then from Paul we come to Baford Ej. Paul, let's hear you. Now let me go to Baford Ej. Baford, we can't hear you.
Hello, Francis. Sorry. Yeah, so my question is on the businesses under the flat scheme right now. So let's say that we go to GRA to get submit the booklet, and then we come on the taxpayers portal. The business is not registered for the standard. So is the business required to register for the standard and then file the standard? And when it's deregistered, are they going to now deregister the flat and then the standard now? And also, do we have any timelines? I think I see Doctor trying to answer with not so much of a definite timeline. If we could get something that GRA is working with so that we can see how best to help our businesses. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go to Bediakun.
Hi, Francis. Thank you. My question had to do with the EVAT portal and also the fact that we are registered on EVAT to issue the EVAT invoicing, but we are also still being asked to use the booklets. I don't know if it's a situation peculiar to myself only, but if there's any advice on whether it's one or the other, or if both are supposed to be done, because we tend to have issues on the platform consistently. Thank you.
Okay, Doc, do you want to respond to that?
So the first one has to do with a person who is on the flat and then has to, we are also saying that until you are deregistered, continue with the standard. So you just have to register for the standard to charge, because there's no way, now we don't have a flat. So that is what it is. And then if you don't meet the threshold, then both will be deregistered. The EVAT gentleman, what was your listen? I think I had a problem with my listen. I didn't get it clearly.
Doc, I was saying that there are some businesses that have been migrated onto EVAT, the invoicing platform, but field officers are still expecting us to use the booklet. And I think in your submission, you had also indicated similar, that we should get the booklets.
No, what if you are on the EVAT? Why will you not continue with the EVAT?
Yeah,
that is my expectation. But on the field, I don't know if anybody has similar experience.
No, so continue. In the listen, just call. I think we have the evat.support3@gra.gov.gl, which you are aware. Just get in touch with them, and they will help you be able to figure it out.
Okay, let's go to
the other person was also talking about the timelines for deregistration. If it will be done and done as soon as Commissioner General takes a decision, on it. Is that okay? So when it comes to those things, just trust the system to get persons who do not qualify to be delisted. As to whether it will be done tomorrow next, please, that is beyond my pay grade. The convener was I don't want to be fired after this discussion. Yeah.
All right. So thank you again. Let me say we've gotten the GRA send us a scanned copy of the new VAT Act. I know most of us have been looking for it. So please, this is a scanned copy. Make use of it until we get the friendly editable version so that you can see what is in the law. We'll be hosting another section by section. I call it unpacking of this of the new act on the 16th of January with the immediate past commissioner, Mr. Edward Jamra. So please study it, have all your questions, and then we'll meet. Doc, trust me, I believe we cannot exhaust all the questions as we have. We still have plenty I've not read, and we have over 70 members online trying to ask you questions. Maybe you are thirsty. Please take some water. Let me now arrange the next batch for you. So I'll go to Patrick, then I'll go to Ebenezer. I don't know whether you've asked your question. So first, Patrick, whilst Doc grab some bottle of water. Patrick.
Okay, I want to know whether the tourism, the hotel registration, there are 1% charge. Is it still added to the 15%, making it 21% or not? Thank you.
To be excluded in the determination of the VAT, it will be excluded.
So there are also 20%.
Which one is 20%? You're on the tourism levy. Is that not what you said?
Yes, sir.
That one is 1%.
So does it mean theirs are 15% VAT, 5% levies, and 1% tourism?
Yes.
Yeah, but in the determination of the VAT and here, we will not consider the tourism levy.
Now, I think he wants to find out whether they are supposed to charge tourism levy. Yes, you're supposed to charge tourism levy, but you don't add it to the base. You don't add it like we used to. Patrick, are you clear?
Yeah, I understand. So you can't also claim.
Are you saying that if you, let's say, you are a hotel or restaurant, you shouldn't charge the VAT? Is that what you're saying? You're required to charge the VAT. The VAT is 50, then the levies is 5%. In addition to your 1% tourism levy.
Okay. But you can't claim a 1% input on a tourism levy, can you?
No. In calculating the VAT, you don't add it.
Please, it's a levy. So levies, the levy is not claimable. The only thing that you can claim is the 2.5%, 2.5%, the two levies plus your 15%. Paul, is that clear?
Thank you. Certainly.
All right. Let me go to Ebenezer Akwa. Ebenezer. Okay, Bidia, have you asked your question already?
Yes, thank you, Francis.
All right, let me go to God's Way. God's Way, please unmute and ask. Okay,
thank you very much. So I appreciate you organizing this session. So first of all, I want to ask on the portal. So since I think all of us here paying VAT, we are all registered taxpayers. And so if you meet the threshold and you want to register, can we be able to request registration access from the portal so that it can be processed? Because I realize that since the system has been implemented, we are not able to send requests to GRA. They are not able to process requests from there. And it's been a long time now. So we believe that by now GRA should be proactive in being able to address requests that are sent by the portal. That's my first input. Then the second one, I've been helping a lot of businesses to register with GRA. And I want to say that, first of all, before the businesses can even charge VAT, they need to, first of all, be registered with GRA. So the registration process is really tedious. Are we doing something where businesses that want to register to pay tax are able to actually provide and send requests online and get it approved. Maybe a compliant officer or a registration officer visits their premises and approve for them to register. Instead of all the process, you have to go back and forth, and it even differs from office to office. Then my third question, or the last question, is I think somebody asked about if GRA is able to recommend accountants or chartered accountants who are actually doing the right things to support their businesses. I want to say that I think as a country, we are, or as GRA, we are only looking at collecting the money for the government, but it seems we are not really concerned when it comes to how the businesses are doing the business. We are always saying that they should keep their books, they should do proper bookkeeping so that they can be able to know how their businesses are doing. But we are not really putting in any proactive effort. So I want to say that with us as Ghanaian, is it possible for GRA to upgrade their system and be able to include some softwares that businesses can actually be able to use that will help them in even doing the accounting stuff?
Okay.
And that will also help GRA to be able to get them to be paying the right taxes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Doc, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that GRA has been very proactive. I guess it's a long time this gentleman has visited GRA. We are proactive. We respond to issues quite faster than in the past. And I thought that he was going to rather give us a pat on the back, but well, that is just by the way. When it comes to GRA helping taxpayers, you can see that we have actually put in place a lot of systems which have really contained or reduced the frustration of our taxpayers. We came out with what we call a tax helper that would help you be able to actually put your this together. And even the portal itself is also a tax helper. Once you put in your information, all do. But we don't want to take away the jobs of the accountants. That is not our work. Our work is not to take away your jobs. So if by what you are submitting, you want us to take your jobs, we are saying that we beg you. What we have is enough for us. So please go about doing your work as accountants to support businesses. But for us, the reason why we keep saying that businesses should engage accountants, qualified accountants, is just because we want them to actually pay the right taxes. We don't want them to pay more than what the law requires, of them. But I will take your concerns as feedback. We'll look at it because you said that in some offices they are proactive, other offices are not proactive. It's a feedback. We'll just go back and look at what we can do to enhance the system. Thank you very much.
Doc, I still believe that we will have to take some of the questions via email because we just have like 20 minutes and I doubt if we can exhaust everything. Jones is complaining that we are not being fair to people who supply goods. Jones, you are right. Looks like the law is the law. Edward, so I want to know per the new system, what will be the vatable amount for the 7% calculation? Doc, I think this Edward Boache is asking, what is going to be the vatable base for the 7%? Is it going to be the 15%?
We'll do a computation before we exit, so don't.
Okay, then I think in about 5 minutes, Doc, I'm going to give you the platform to share your screen. Then you can walk us through, or maybe maybe let's start from there. Start because that question has been coming frequently. Walk us through the calculation. So once again, like we said, we're going to have another session on the 16th of January. That will be quite longer than this. Today's session focus on implementation challenges, and I think that Dr. Nab has done a lot of work on this. So please, if you have further questions, join us on the 16th. I think that is around from 2 p.m. till all questions are exhausted. So please come with all your questions. In the meantime, because our time is quite short and we have a number of questions, we won't be able to respond to all of them. Okay, in the meantime, Michael Ayebila, let's hear you in case we can answer your question.
No, my question was on the claiming of the levies. Since the filing is going to be done separately for the VAT and then that of the levies, how do you then claim the levies?
Okay.
So I don't know if that question has been answered.
Yes, it's been answered. Doc said that they will look into it, and then
Okay.
in order not to stress we taxpayers, they will look into it. Let's go to Ernest Atumensa. Ernest. Okay, Fahad.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Fahad, we can hear you.
Yeah, my question is about the airline ticket. Are they supposed to charge VAT? And the second question is, how will the VAT withholding, how will the calculation be? The VAT withholding.
Okay. So Doc will
Thank you.
answer the question on the airline. The VAT withholding, I think he's trying to share his screen to show us how the calculation is done. So noted on the airline.
Okay, so
Israel,
let me just on the airline. You see, when it comes to VAT on the airline, nothing has changed regarding all those things. The point is that if the ticket is, let's say, 1,000, then the agent has a commission on it. There will be VAT on the commission.
I'll still go back to my question. So Israel, Swansea.
Okay, good morning. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning and thanks for the opportunity once again. Please, I needed some clarification on whether certain government institutions or agencies are exempted from VAT. You know, like for instance, Ghana Health Service, we undertook a project for them. It was actually a construction project, and we were made to believe that they don't accept VAT invoices, but for supplies they do. So we needed that clarification. Are certain government institutions exempted from VAT for certain services we render? I don't know if my question is clear.
It's clear. Dr. Martin, Dr. What am I saying? Dr. Martin Plenty. Dr. Nabu answer that question. Let's go to Amoakunche Mensa. Amoakun.
I think we can proceed. So let me just give you the numbers.
Okay, so Amoakun, maybe hold your thoughts. Doc, I'm sharing my screen now.
I can't see your screen, but let's go on.
Oh, you can see?
It's just very small. It's showing very small.
Oh.
But that's fine. You go on. So amount, let's say 1,000.
Okay, so
can I go ahead with my question?
No, wait. Let's do the calculation first.
Yes,
amount.
please.
Nat, can you see my screen?
I can see it.
Okay.
But just it's so faint, but it doesn't matter. So
anybody see my screen?
Joseph? Yeah, I can see your screen. Yes, I can see it. Amount 1,000.
Okay, 1,000. Then the levies.
Levies. I should put them together, right?
5%.
Okay. So let me do 5%. I believe members understand why it's 5%. Okay. So Doc, I should apply it on the 1,000.
On the 1,000.
Okay. So I have 50 cedis.
So 50. Then
VAT.
15%.
15%.
Also on the 1,000.
Okay.
On the 1,000.
All right. So I have 150. I should sum them up, eh?
150. Then sum them up.
So I have 1,200.
1,200. So this is how much the consumer is going to pay for.
Okay.
Now let's also look at the other side. Let's look at the previous one so that we can appreciate how much government has sacrificed.
Okay. So this is the new one?
This is a new one. So old one aside, I mean, it gets on the other side.
Old one.
So
the same amount, right?
The same 1,000.
Okay, let me do the old one here.
No, do it side by side so that we can see the impact.
Okay. Old one. So the amount is 1,000.
1,000, yes.
Okay.
Then
The levies.
yes.
The levies is also
6
50.
because COVID was there.
Okay. Then for us to be clear, help allow me break this thing down.
Okay.
So end here at 2.5%.
Then COVID. So under the new one, there will be dash. Then we have it on the other hand side.
Right.
We just want to know how much government is sacrificing. No, under the old one, a new one, there won't be any COVID.
Right.
So the COVID will be dash.
So this is the old one.
Is that no the
I'm
COVID?
coming.
What you did was the new one, or is the old one?
I'm trying to. I've done the same thing. So the new one, the 2.5 will still be there.
Yes.
So can you see my screen very well?
And I can see. I can follow. I'm following.
Okay.
It's so tiny, but I'm able to follow.
Oh. So under the new one, COVID-19 is dash.
Yes, but
so
the old one, the computation is not correct. But when it comes to the VAT, you add the amount plus the NHIL, get fund, COVID. Then you get the subtotal. You get the subtotal.
Correct. So the subtotal is the VAT is on the subtotal.
Yes.
Correct. Under the new one.
Yes. Under the new one, we have 1,000. Then 25. Is it 25?
Yes, 25.
25. Then the VAT. So come down the VAT.
So VAT will still also be on the 1,000.
Yes, which will be 150. I think earlier you got 150.
Correct.
Good. So add them.
So if you add them,
you are getting 1,200.
Wait. Oh. Experts, please tell me if I'm wrong. So, Doc, under the old one, we are paying 1,219. Under the new one, we are paying 1,200. Is it
so
correct?
how much is the difference?
19.
19.
Correct.
19 Ghana.
Yes, 19 cities.
Okay, 19, yes. So this is how much tax we are losing.
Okay.
Is that okay? So this is how much sacrifice government is making. So for me, I think let's embrace the new act and let it work because it's really going to help us. Now let's do another one with the VAT withholding.
Okay, VAT withholding.
Yeah, the VAT withholding. I think somebody requested for that one.
Yes. So so right now we are going to calculate the VAT withholding under the new one.
Under the new one, yes.
Okay. So the question was, which one is going to be the base for
the
the
base
VAT
is going to be the same amount.
Correct.
10% on the same 1,000.
So VAT withholding is going to be 7% on the 1,000.
On the 1,000.
7%.
On the 1,000.
So 7, which is going to give us 70.
70 Ghana.
But under the old law, it would have been on the levy inclusive, right?
Yeah, levy inclusive.
Okay.
You can do that so that we can see how much.
So under the old one, would have gotten 74.2 cedis versus 70 cedis.
Okay.
So we were withholding more under the old system than we are doing it under the new system.
Exactly.
But Doug, let me ask a question. And please, you can type. Since they are all deduction, and I'm stepping a little back before August 2018.
Okay.
Before August 2018, we were withholding on the full amount. Was it the case?
No. The withholding was 7%. It
Only
hasn't
on the
changed.
VAT, but not the levies.
No. Only the VAT.
Okay.
Only the VAT. Nothing has changed.
Okay. But now that we are claiming the input VAT, shouldn't the withholding also apply to the levies as well?
No. The withholding is on VAT. The levies are not VAT in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But once someone asks and say, look, the purpose of the withholding was to ensure compliance, or at least government gets money initially, and especially for those who will not even come forth to pay. If you don't apply the withholding on the levies as well, in the end, we're not going to get the immediate cash flow for government. So ideally, it should have applied to the levies as well. After all, they are all claimable as input.
Government is not only one-sided. That is why even there's exemption under the withholding. So government is saying that, look, if you do things right, I can even exempt you the withholding. So it is not all about revenue. When we talk about tax policy has to do with what can I do to make sure that the businesses are able to grow without creating, issues with them regarding taxes. So ability to impose taxes, one, they're not imposing tax and helping them to be able to employ, helping them to be able to actually add value to their businesses. It's also another aspect of tax policy. So tax policy is not only about revenue. Sometimes government would even have to cave in, reduce the taxes, grant exemptions, and still be able to achieve whatever purpose it wants to achieve.
Okay. Doc, someone is saying that they try to make the withholding VAT under the new system to have applied to both levies and the VAT, but that was not catered for in the law.
No, nobody. I mean, I was part of the team. It never even came up. It never came up.
Okay. You don't see it as a risk?
Maybe it was a dream.
They say the same way we were losing revenue.
I see. The point actually is that this is a new law that has come. We are all going to look at it. And we think that the withholding should affect this. We just need to amend the law, and then it would be done. So let's see. I mean, work with this one. If there's a need to actually do some social re-engineering, then we can do that and take a decision as a country. We just need to have a national conversation, around it.
Okay, great. Doc, it looks like I have 3 minutes more. Honestly, if you allow me to do some 2 additional minutes, then I will invite. In fact, we are a lot. We are about 2,000 at the point I saw 2,500 members online, all trying to ask questions. But we apologize, members. We're going to have another, and I think that one is more. It's going to be more interesting because Mr. Jamra, who in one way or the other led a team of experts to redraft the new law, is going to walk us through the rationale. So you can't afford to miss that one. Let's come at that session. We're going to have a longer period. Here we have just 2 hours, and we'll continue to encourage that. Send your questions ahead of time so that we get opportunity to read for you ahead. Branson Kisi, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask Dr. Knapp a question. So Branson,
I'm
please.
still here.
Oh, you are there. Okay, please ask your question.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So I wanted to know, I operate in an ecosystem where most of the people, my competitors, do not pay VAT. And I'm just wondering, what is the GRA doing about this? I know every time there is the mention of we are going to increase or widen the tax net, but it never does happen. What this means is that I have to sell my things at a higher cost. And I believe that it becomes a punishment to myself and other taxpayers who are registered for VAT. So I just wanted to know what the authority is doing about this. Thank you.
No, I think the line was breaking at the point. You are saying who is not paying VAT?
People who I operate in the same business ecosystem with. So
Okay.
like my competitors,
Yeah.
they do not pay VAT. And it means that I have to sell my things at a higher cost.
They don't charge VAT or they don't pay VAT. They are two different things, boss. If you are saying
some of them are not even registered as businesses. So they do not pay anything.
No, they don't charge.
To
The point is that
yes, they don't charge. Yes.
Yes. So if you are not registered for VAT, you cannot charge VAT. Now we need to look at why are they not charging or why are they not registered? That is what we have to look at. So let's have conversation offline. Offline. Are you getting it?
Correct.
Let's have conversation offline, and then we will get some people to quickly evaluate it and get back to us.
Great, great. I like that. Please let me clarify something. Some people are still confused about the withholding base amount. Dr. Nab is saying that the withholding is based on the same value you calculated the VAT on. All of them are deriving the same base. So if you calculated the VAT on a particular number, when you are calculating the withholding to calculate it on that same number. Now, the VAT under the new law was applied on the 1,000. It wasn't the levy inclusive. Please take note. I'm getting some comments here. So the VAT was on 1,000. That gave us a 150. We are saying that take 7%. So that 7% should also have its source at 1,000. Some are saying it should be 1,000 plus the 150. No. In the nutshell, all we are saying is that VAT withholding is a compliance tool. Instead of paying the entire 150 to people who may potentially not come back, you are a credible person appointed by the commissioner. So withhold 70. So at the end of the day, if you withhold 70, the balance left is 80. That is what you are going to give to the commissioner in cash. Then you claim the 70 as a credit because that has been paid on your behalf already. So please, let's get that distinction clear. With the 7% is not on the 1,150. Correct. My time is up. But
Hello?
yes.
Okay. So my question is, in the first schedule, the exempt supplies, I realized that acceptance of wager or stake has been removed from the exempt list.
Listen.
Hello?
Listen.
Yeah.
You see, this is a detail. You have the act, right?
Yes, yes.
Correct. So I don't know whether if it's not an implementation thing.
So it's an implementation.
Why it has been removed will be better explained by Mr. Jamra on the 16th. Do you want us to note your question down?
No, so me working for a company in Burton, I want to know if I'm required now to register for the VAT.
Okay, it's about registration. Okay.
Yeah, so the point is that when you are trying to implement or appreciate the VAT, go to the exemptions. Whatever you don't see there, there is VAT implication. I hope it's clear.
Okay, thank you. So there's VAT on Burton.
Yes, that's what it. I haven't gotten the I have the what's the name? The memorandum here, but I don't want to work with the memorandum. Let me just get the act itself. So
sure, Doc, I've shared the act, so you can look at it, and then, like I said, the act will be dealt with on the 16th, section by section. Friends, colleagues, family members, our time is up and it is noon. We don't want to go beyond the time. At this point, I want to call Dr. Anap to give a final overview of a summary, so that we'll call our president to give us a closing remarks. And then we adjourn sittings till 16th, where we are going to look at the details of some of the transactions. So, Doc, your comment.
Yeah, so thank you very much. And I just want to thank everybody. And I ask that let's all be ambassadors of this new law. It's a law that has come to actually help reduce cost of living, take out distortions, and also the cascading effect that we experienced under the previous regime. I just want us to implement it with some passion and aggression. If for any reason you have any difficulty, please call GRA and we'll be happy to respond to whatever issues that you have. On behalf of the Commissioner General, we just want to thank you very much and to say that we are happy you joined at least to listen to us. It is not going to be an event. We'll continue. In fact, there are a lot of programs lined up. From next week, you will see us on radio stations and television stations just discussing this issue because we think that we need to bring everybody on board. We need to get everybody to appreciate what is happening. This is news and we need to blow it. Thank you. God bless us all. Bye.
Thank you, Doc. Very well. I think that it's been fruitful. Please, those we could not answer your questions, if I may ask, kindly send your questions to the. It's because of time. That's why we couldn't answer them. But Dr. Nab is available. I'll compile everything, send it to him to answer, and then I'll return it to your email. So you see the email that we saw on the notice. Kindly send your question. Put it nicely, provided it's not been answered here. I will send it to him. He will answer it and I will return it in that email that you sent. But hopefully we'll meet you on the 16th of January. It's I think it's a Friday. No, the notice will come out soon. At that session, we're going to have enough time. So come with all your technical questions. I've shared the act. So please read it. Where you don't understand it, let's just make the notes and then you come and then you get the answers from Mr. Jamra. At this point, let me call our president, Madam Tina Pia, to close us. Tina.
Thank you, Timo. All too soon, our interesting discussions have come to an end. Your engagement and questions have enriched the conversation and strengthened our collective commitment to building a tax system that supports national development. Like the moderator has been saying, the Citg has another interesting public lecture on the 16th of January. That is 2 weeks from today at 2 p.m. The theme is unpacking the new VAT Act, a session-by-session walkthrough with Mr. Edward Appington Jamra, the immediate past Commissioner of GRA DTRD, and a council member of Citg. Please don't miss it, as it promises to be exciting as well. Dr. Nab, we are grateful for your time and expertise, and within this short notice that we got in touch with you, you have blessed us with all the experts and the questions that we put to you. On that note, we want to thank everyone for participating and within this short notice. Long live Citg, long live GRA. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Madam President, and thank you, Dr. Nab, for the wonderful thoughts you shared with us. So until we meet on the 16th of January, please watch out and keep your questions coming. Thank you, and may God bless us all. Bye-bye.